What's going on, guys? What's going on, guys? This is your man, Real Deal, Steele, coming to you live. Going up on a Wednesday. Happy hump day, everyone. Happy hump evening. So there was a change of plans. As some of you might have noticed. I had initially had scheduled Tommy Thayer of Kiss, the lead guitarist of Kiss, to be on the show tonight. And we had discussed this through messaging each other, DMing each other. And when I went to follow up with them, I just got no response. And I just got no response. So, I'm not mad. It was definitely inconvenient because that's another reason why I'm on later, is because I had to scramble to put together a new show after the one that I had planned with Tommy on. So that's why the delay has happened, but that's okay. We are going to press on. We're still going to have a great show tonight. Those of you who came specifically for Tommy, my humble apologies. It's just all those things just out of my hands, out of my control. Tommy Thayer still has absolutely an open door here. Anytime he wishes to be on the podcast, I would more than welcome him. I'm sure he's caught up. I know there's a hectic touring scheduling, going on with him as well. So who knows what happened, but hopefully we'll hear from him in the future and we can reschedule at another time. Ryan McClymonds, good to see you. I haven't seen that name in the chat in a long time. Starting things off with a $2 super chat. Thank you for starting things off, Ryan. What is up, my old friend? It's been forever. Yes, it's been a long time. Great to see you back in the mix. And Ryan, don't make it so long next time. Don't be a stranger. Who else we got in here tonight? We've got Slay Blaze. We've got Scott Herforth. We've got Alan Schneider. We've got RW. We've got High Tech Low Life. Elijah Peterson. RW, Will DeRuler, Zombie Doge Army, Hump Deezy, Luminal, Alan Schneider, and Swift Pilot Bang Stun. Everybody bang stun tonight. The list goes on, Paradiddle, and good to see you guys. Good to see you guys. If before we get started, if you haven't smashed that like button, if I could bother you guys to do that. It's honestly the number one simplest thing you can do to help the show out. Also, if you're brand new here, I'd like to welcome you. You're watching Steven Steele Live. I'm Steven Steele. Feel free to subscribe and join our eccentric little community here. We've got a fun community, a really welcoming community, and love to have you be a part of it. So hit all on that notification bell. And if anyone feels compelled to super chat anywhere throughout this broadcast, you can do so both through obviously YouTube or through the Stream Elements link pinned at the top of the chat, whichever tickles your fancy, whatever flips your switch. You can feel free to ask myself or my esteemed co-host anything you'd like, crypto or non-crypto related alike, and we'll do our best to field those to the best of our collective ability. So yeah, let's see here. Without further ado, I'm like to bring on a man who's had a plan since 2014 when he invested $10,000 for taking out a bank loan. The casual observer, and put it all in dog money, the casual observer would say that is madness. But to Nick Ballz, it resulted in multi-millionaire status. Nick, what's going on, my friend?
Hey, what's going on, Steven?
Hey, good to have you back in the mix. Yeah, we just kind of had to reroute pretty quickly tonight, and that's okay.
That's how rock stars roll.
Honestly, it's just kind of part of the deal. I know. I'm not even mad. Honestly,
you know yeah.
I'm not even mad. And I know a few folks here are probably in the mix. They're like, "What is this show? I came for Kiss," and I understand. But so what do we do? What do we do when we're not interviewing guitarists from Kiss? We could talk about cryptocurrency, but we also talk about just interesting kind of news stuff and just have fun with it. And yeah, and so we'd love if you were just stick around and just vibe out. And yeah, we'd still love to have you. So you know, how you feeling with this market downturn? What's on your what are Nick's thoughts on the market right now?
Let me tell you, Steven. So I had an incredible day today. I spent the entire day with my girlfriend. That's always amazing. But I had a very amazing day on Tuesday. I was very nervous. I woke up early. I had a meeting with my CPA. Mm-hmm. I had a rough idea of how much I owed in taxes from what I've already cashed out. Rough idea. But I thought it was, you know, with all of the trading that I did, I thought it could be much worse. Mm-hmm. And it's not like I haven't been spending anything, like, you know, I haven't been balling out or anything, but I was just kind of nervous. You know, it's nervous when you go to meet somebody who's going to tell you how much you have to pay the government. You would not believe the number that I have to pay. It is nothing. I was doing backflips when I left my CPA's office. My CPA is a gangster. I don't know what numbers he manipulated, what he did. I don't know how he did what accounting magic he pulled off. But I'm not going to say that. I'll tell you off air. But it is ridiculous how much I have to pay. It is nothing. It's almost zero.
You got his number?
Yeah, I do.
Seriously, I wouldn't mind talking to the guy.
Yeah, he just saved my butt. So now I'm actually looking into doing a little leverage trading on Femex now that I have the leeway to do that and not totally screw myself, because I've got a ton of capital and I don't have to worry about insane tax bill as I thought I was going to. So I've got, what is it now, like October, November, December. Yeah, I've got like 3 months to make some money, and I do plan on cashing out some more Doge once it gets up back into the 30s. I'll probably take out 100 to 250,000, something like that.
Nice. A couple of questions coming up in the chat here. Kyle asked me, why have you switched your Twitter profile to your Dojax NFT, Steven? I don't know. I guess I never thought about it. Probably for the same reason Matt hasn't. I mean, it's a fair question. I'm involved in the project as a spokesperson, a representative. But I will. Yeah, it's something I just haven't really thought about it. But I had the NFTs I minted on minting day, and then I'm still waiting on the NFTs, the two NFTs that are being gifted to me by the core team for me coming on board. And so I'm going to wait for those to be revealed and then figure out which one of between the minted ones and the ones gifted to me by the team for my efforts that I'm going to. I'll pick out one of those and rep in the profile picture.
Can you tell me? So I was kind of briefly following the launch day.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I had that meeting with my CPA that same day, and of course, I walk out of my CPA's office and the market just tanks. Did the market tanking have anything to do with what the hiccup that occurred on day one?
Okay, so in order for us to we can cover the Dogex launch. That's going to have to be it. Yeah, we'll get into it. Let me get the super chat first, then we'll get into that. Ryan McClymon's coming again with a $5 super chat. Thank you, Ron. Got banged up in a fire. Wow, been in a hospital for a hot minute. Been trying to check in when I can, but not very often. Just got home. Wow, a long way from 3 cents. Ryan, wow, I am so sorry to hear that, but it sounds like you're out of the hospital now. I am sorry to hear that happened to you, man. I am glad you're alive. I'm glad you're out of the hospital. We are happy and thankful to have you back in here, and we wish you happy healing, my friend. Happy healing. So thank you for the super chat again, Ryan. And wow, we'll just definitely keep you in our thoughts, and great to have you back in the mix. Elijah says,
I'm glad you're okay, and I hope it's not that bad, but I hope if it is that bad, I hope you look like Deadpool, and I hope you look cool.
Yeah, I second that motion. I like that. Elijah says, Algo keeping me feeling good. Yeah, Algo's not too shabby long term, in my opinion. Yeah. Let's see.
Bitcoin day. I swear to God, we put those price predictions up the other night when I was on. I didn't know that National Bitcoin Day was happening, or that it was even a thing. I knew that El Salvador was launching, but I didn't know they were trying to pull a Dogecoin and do a Dogecoin day and do a Bitcoin day. I wish somebody would have told me that, because I could have just said the market was going to dump. I would have sold that day too. Better the night before.
Yeah. Dogex launch day was the day before yesterday. The Dogex, for those of you who don't know, don't get it twisted. I'm not promoting a token, another token, or a cryptocurrency with the word Doge, and I wouldn't do that. But Dogex is a NFT project that was started by Matt Wallace, aka Final Stand, and with a team of artists that he has been working with to launch this NFT line called Dogex. It's a very ambitious project in terms of there's 10,000 total minted, and each one of them have different details on each different one of them. And for those of you who are familiar with how NFT lines work, that's very unusual to have 10,000 NFTs that are that uniquely individualistic as the line Dogex is. So Dogex had a couple strikes going against it that were out of its control. One of them was the market absolutely crashed the day of launch. Number two, the Dogex website where you go to get pieces minted, the server crashed for the first hour and a half of the minting launch, and they had the strongest server available to them, but the overwhelming traffic was so much that it still couldn't keep up with it.
I think it was I imagine it was people taking advantage of the fact that gas fees were like completely way lower than they normally are because of the crash. Is that, you think that's what happened?
No, actually, it was just high demand for Dogex.
Oh, wow.
Because gas fees were actually very high.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Gas fees were actually very high. So that was like three things going against it, and then so all three of those things, it kind of hampered the launch, but not for a lack of interest. Still, the collection is about 40% sold already. That's really not too bad considering we're less than 2 days after launch, and things are steadily the rest of them are steadily selling right now, and yeah, I do think that the rest of the collection is going to be sold out. If I had to guesstimate, at the latest within the next 2 weeks, at the latest. And then the real fun begins. Then the floor value really starts to come up sharply once that happens. And so yeah, those that's what's going on with that. And also for those of you who are interested, I'm going to do a short members only stream right when this one is done, and I'm going to share with you some behind the scenes stuff in regards to Dogex strategies going forward. So that'll be interesting for those of you who are invested in any NFTs and any Dogex NFTs. You'll want to listen to that, and we're going to have a powwow about that. And we'll talk about some other stuff and related to that, just kind of some fun stuff. And how do you become a member? You just hit join. You can become a member for as little as $4 a month if you want access to that. So that's what we're going to do immediately following this show, guys. Immediately following this show. But also, gas fees are still kind of up there, but the more they come down, it's interesting. When the gas fees come down, the Dogex mintings go sharply up. It's just kind of in those windows. People are just closely watching. It'll be nice once Ethereum 2.0 comes out, and let alone the Doge Ethereum bridge, which will remedy a lot of this stuff that we're talking about right now. So anyway, so yeah, members only. We'll deep dive further into that stuff later on, and then we'll get going to the next story I have here from FX Street. Dogecoin high centralization levels won't prevent Doge price from hitting a dollar. Despite Dogecoin's price drop, analysts predict that Doge is known to break into a rally when least expected. Correct. Dogecoin loses its place as the seventh largest cryptocurrency of market capitalization, suffering over 10% drop in 2 weeks. Analysts, however, expect Dogecoin to hit $1 despite recent pullbacks, and ask traders to be patient with the coin. Despite centralization, Doge is gearing up for a price rally, according to several crypto analysts. Cryptocurrency investors have increased their share of Dogecoin holdings from 9% in 2020 to 25% as of August 2021, based on an industry report by blockchain data platform Chainalysis. The current rate of adoption is higher than previously seen in the levels of the bull run of 2017. Now, recent correction of Dogecoin reflects the drop in the bullish outlook of traders However, Justin Bennett, I don't know if you've heard of him, Nick. Justin Bennett, he's a TA analysis, and he's founder of something called Crypto Academy. He is it's like a crypto education platform. Anyway, he believes that Doge always rallies when least expected, which I agree with. And he tweeted out today this: Doge is one of those where the moment you think it's dead, it breaks out and takes off without you. A Dogecoin's correction can be attributed to the token being replaced by Solana, but Doge is nearly $9 billion behind Solana in market capitalization as of now. As the Ethereum killer, Solana, that's how I describe it, continues this prolonged price rally. Cryptocurrency analyst Alt Sharpa says Doge is worth waiting for, and I still feel strongly that its price will hit at least $1. It's just a matter of when. Nick, your thoughts?
I would agree with the sentiment that, like, you just never know with Dogecoin, and there's no rhyme or reason. We've seen manipulation in Dogecoin, which, by the way, we've seen big manipulation in Bitcoin. So that's no different. But as far as like dramatic parabolic price action, it's impossible to time. It is impossible to time. I've been stuck in the middle of it before, and I made the wrong call on one of its moves up, so I just don't do that anymore. But yeah, I would completely agree. I think Dogecoin is here to stay, obviously. Solana freaking came out of nowhere. Man, Solana was the play. I wish I would have made a similar play on Solana that I made on Dogecoin like 3 years ago. Solana was like a nickel.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I know. And I remember kind of just glancing at it a few times and just kind of wondering about it. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
when it was around there, and of course, hindsight's always 20/20. But just imagine if you would have put a sizable investment in Solana at 5 cents right now.
Yeah, 20, 30 grand back then.
Oh gosh. Oh yeah, you're good. You're good you're good. Right there.
So,
go ahead.
It's interesting. I do believe Dogecoin to $1 is inevitable, and it will happen at the most random day, at the most random time. It's just so unpredictable, and I love when Dogecoin is just teetering on the edge of like nothing, and then all of a sudden it just comes out of nowhere, like a freight train. So,
and that's how it's always done it. I mean, that's how we've always seen it. You remember when we were of course you remember, but it wasn't that long ago that we traded sideways for about 2.5 months between 4 cents and 6 cents, and a lot of people jumped off the Doge train then. You remember that? I mean, we lost a lot of people in that 2.5 month period where Dogecoin traded sideways between 4 and 6. And then out of nowhere, in the absence of Elon tweets, in the absence of any obvious sort of hype, in the absence of any obvious sort of event, here we go. Dogecoin just went up, up, up and away from 6 cents to 45 cents in the matter of 24 hours. Absolutely, absolutely wild. There's no reason to think that won't happen again. In fact, when we look at the algorithms of how this has worked in the past, Nick, with these out of nowhere kind of rally points with Dogecoin, that seems to be the general pattern. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I would completely agree, and I'm always, I'm always enthralled to think about how much money, like, I have, just sitting there that I haven't touched. But it makes me even more excited to think, like, one day this could be so much more.
Right.
And I could just wake up one day with, like, tens of millions of dollars. And so that just that idea is enough to just kind of keep me satiated. It's unfortunate. I'm looking at the weekly chart right now, and we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had 6 green weeks in a row going, and then Bitcoin just had to come along. But if you look at a lot of other cryptos in the top 10 or at least top 20, the chart's pretty much exactly the same, minus Solana. Don't look at Solana. That's a bad example, but we were so close to closing the gap and going green on the MACD and flipping our first green candle on the MACD for maybe like next week or the week after. Things were looking good. It's unfortunate that we're at where we're at the moment, but overall, I've listened to so many TA channels over the past few days. I've been all over BitBoy Crypto and his posse. A lot of people who associate with BitBoy Crypto are actually really good TA people. But there's so many clear indicators that what happened the other day in the market is just ripe prime manipulation from like one source, and they're still trying to track down where it came from. It wasn't F2 pool, and it wasn't like it's obviously a lot of it was longs getting stopped out, but that was only a fraction. There was like a $10,000 candle that came from one person. So we'll figure it out eventually. It's on the blockchain. Everybody's going to see it. But this was just a clear manipulation tactic. And I mean, where Bitcoin and basically the rest of the top 10, top 20 cryptos are resting right now is like, I would say in a very bullish state, albeit much lower than we were before. It's not like we're going into winter.
Right. It's not like you're going into winter. And I agree. But, oh, by the way, welcome Will DeRuler into the membership class. Got that lean green on the screen. I love it. I love to see it. And if anyone else is curious about membership and you're not already a member, just hit that join button. Membership starts at just $4 a month. Getting back to things here, now that with the recent, I guess you could describe it as a flash crash. What's been going on at the market?
It was actually the biggest flash crash in crypto history.
Is it really?
Yeah, single candle. Yeah. That's not based off of percentage, but based off of money, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So because Bitcoin at the time was trading at 52,000, dropped all the way to 42,000. A $10,000 differential in Bitcoin, that's the biggest drop in Bitcoin history. But percentage-wise, it doesn't account for that much because it's just so Bitcoin is so high, right? Or it's it was nearing all-time highs again. To drop that much money in the grand scheme of things up until the state it's been the most that's ever happened. But percentage-wise, it really wasn't that bad.
Yeah, I would agree with that assessment. Here's the thing, though. Now that this has happened, right? We were talking about right before this flash crash that, hey, we're looking at what I would describe as a light red September instead of a deep red September, as we've traditionally seen. When by traditionally, I mean over the last 4 years or so with the crypto market. Has your opinion and prediction for the market, what we're going to see going forth till the end of the month, augmented since we last were on the air?
It's funny you ask, Stephen, because actually the owner of my gym is I got him into crypto, but he pretty much only tracks Dogecoin. And he came up to me the other day. I was at the gym afterwards, and he was like, "Man, what happened?" He's like crying. I'm like, "Dude, relax. It's just welcome to crypto, buddy."
Oh my gosh.
And here's the thing. And I said this before September. yes, historically September is red, or at least we've had several red Septembers in the past. Just with this one red week, with the gains that seem to be slowly digging its way back up, we could just end up right back where we started and have an absolutely neutral September. Yeah, we might have like a 1% or 2% dip or something like that, but I don't think it'll end up being, double digits or anything like that.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair probability. Josh Randell disavows coming in with a $20 super chat. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you for the generous super chat, Josh. Appreciate it. I'm only 3 weeks back into moving plates, and I can already deadlift more than the real Nick Ballz. Oh man, that's pretty.
Lie.
That's pretty tough
Well,
talk.
I haven't deadlifted in 6 months, and I will pick up a house. So,
I believe it. That's pretty tough talk, Josh. But thank you, Josh. I appreciate it. I would love to see a deadlifting competition between Nick Ballz and Josh Randell.
well, you know what? I'm gonna get ready. This winter. I'm gonna start my bulk program probably towards the end of October. I always bulk through the holidays, so I'll probably start at the end of October. And I'll put up some gym clips in the Discord for you guys to see my big lifts. Keep in mind, I'm a puller. I'm not a pusher. I'll probably be incline benching about 315.
Yes.
But I will definitely be pulling probably upwards from 600 to 700 pounds.
Goodness gracious. There you have it, folks. Right from Charles Atlas of Dogecoin's mouth. You heard it here first. There was a comment that I saw earlier in chat that was interesting. Just give me a chance. I'm just scrolling up here. Now, there's been talk and speculation, Nick, about market interference. That there's.
I wanted to get into this, Steven. I want to get into this.
Because there's so much talk, and it's very difficult to navigate what's true, what's not. We hear a lot of talk about Dogecoin, malicious Dogecoin suppression and manipulation, etc. What are your thoughts? How much of this do you think is true? How much do you think is a bit sensational? Your thoughts.
It's not Dogecoin manipulation, it's crypto manipulation.
Right.
And it's not coming from a person. There is a person who was able to sell, billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin at one time when others were not. But where the manipulation is coming from, it's so funny because we all got into crypto, I assume, because it's decentralized, right? And crypto has become anything but decentralized. Why? Because to buy and sell crypto, you have to go to an exchange.
Right.
And exchanges are, just like YouTube, they are subject to their own terms and conditions and not anyone else's. And I will say this, that our friend, Miles G Investments, go follow him if you've not already, he reached out to me on the day that the crash occurred. We actually talked on the phone for a little while, and he was locked out of Coinbase. Couldn't trade. He wanted to buy Solana, couldn't buy Solana. He eventually did, but he was, he missed out on like, $20 or $30 differential, which could be tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars for him. So I forwarded his info onto my girl over at Kraken, and it looks like, I think, I don't want to speak for him, but I think he is moving everything over to Kraken. Kraken did not have any down issues that day. You were freely able to trade the entire day with no glitches or anything. So yeah, there is manipulation coming from the major exchanges. We know who they are. It is really, BitBoy Crypto actually calls them the financial cartel. And it's true. I mean, these are the guys who are responsible for being able to allow you to buy or sell your crypto at any time. And the key word being anytime. Not their time, not sometimes, anytime. And it's really, really unfortunate that a lot of major exchanges without, the reason people like crypto and they trade it because, the stock market, we all know, is super boring. And they have these circuit breakers that if a price gets over 10%, they flip the switch and you can't trade it.
Right.
That's ridiculous. Like, that is ridiculous. So that's the beauty of crypto. It trades 24/7 with no rules.
Right.
And unfortunately, these major exchanges, they want to put in their own rules. And it's no detriment to them. They're not facing liquidity issues because of this. Like, they have buyers and they have sellers. They're filling orders, and that's it. There should be no reason to halt trading. There shouldn't be a technical glitch. There shouldn't be a problem. Robinhood is the biggest offender of this. And you know what? To be fair to Robinhood, their system is bunk. It is so poorly built. I can understand why they have so many issues. But places like Coinbase, guys, Coinbase was around in 2014 when
Yes.
I was buying Dogecoin. They've had almost 8 years to figure their stuff out. And if they haven't, well, go somewhere else. Go to Kraken. Like,
Right.
I'm not getting paid, by the way. I don't have a user code. I can't get you a discount, whatever. I just simply think that Kraken is the superior exchange, especially if you're within the United States and you don't want to be locked out of trading. This is just my opinion.
Yeah. I think that's very sage advice. Very sage advice going forward. So basically, what you're saying is that the degree of market manipulation that we do see with crypto, firstly, this is something that's not unique to Dogecoin. And secondly, this is predominantly a game being played by the major exchanges, correct?
100%.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say that there's this huge, deliberate collusion of market suppression in relation to crypto going on with Wall Street, even though there is some of that going on. But the predominant games that you're seeing played that could be described as market manipulation in relation to the crypto market, this is, I would agree with Nick, predominantly an exchange game going on here. And from everything I've seen from Kraken, it's definitely been one of the more trustworthy exchanges out there from everything.
I love Kraken. I will say this: their deposits and withdrawals are the best in the industry. If you cash out, you will have your money the next day. Doesn't matter how well. For me, it doesn't matter how much, but for you, it might. But for me, I can cash out $100 million and it will be in my bank account tomorrow. Also, I will say this about Kraken. Their user interface is It's okay. It's not the greatest. I've been on all of the exchanges. I believe Binance does have the greatest user interface. I can't fault them for that. Their user interface is good. However, your user interface means F all if you don't allow trading. If you don't allow trading, it doesn't matter how good your user interface looks if you can't use it. So I give Kraken a pass on having a kind of clunky user interface. It's not garbage. It's just not the best.
Yeah. That's fair. That's totally fair and an unbiased review. Sliding Edge coming in with a $5 super chat. I love it. Today on Twitter, Dogecoin millionaire YOLOs into another altcoin. Real Nick Ballz, why are you manipulating the market? By the way, Nick is Doge strong.
So many people accused me. Oh my God, I got called out on like.
What happened? What happened?
People, I don't know why, Stephen. People think that I am the billionaires controlling the entire. The people think I'm Elon. I don't know, guys. I am not that. I assure you that if I was that wealthy, I would not be living in Illinois. Firstly, secondly, I would be doing much different things than I am now. I am not the one. I am not Neo from the Matrix. I am just a regular guy I don't know why people think that I'm like leveraging billions of dollars. I am not. I do, David Goldstein, I think, tried to call me out.
Are you serious?
I don't know. I don't think he was. I don't know, because people tagged me in the post, and they were saying it was me, but I don't know. I don't know if it was. I don't know if he was referring to me or not. I'm trying to find it now. It's probably like a day old, so I'm never gonna find it because David tweets every 5 minutes. But 11/11, make a wish.
Right.
I don't think he was referring to me. He said something about what is this I hear about the Dogecoin millionaire buying a bunch of ADA, which I thought was he must have gotten from me, because I made a comment that ADA is my next big play. But there's more than one Dogecoin millionaire, people, so I don't know. I am buying ADA. This isn't a mystery. Like, I own a lot of ADA, and I plan on buying more.
Right.
I like ADA. I don't like Char. We've gone over this. We've gone over this whole story. Anywho,
Right.
I'm not manipulating the markets. That's long story short.
So, Nick, you were not only taking heat for people thinking that you were manipulating the markets, but you're also taking heat for being an ADA holder?
I guess. I mean, I was taking heat on my personal social media account. I won't mention which one, but I was taking heat from, like, when the market crashed. This is how you know how many people are plugged in to the crypto world who you don't even know are plugged into the crypto world. When people on, like your friends and family start calling you and they're like, why did you make the money go down? I'm like, I didn't make money go down. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. I was in my CPA's office praying to God that I didn't have to pay taxes.
Do people really say stuff like that to you?
People were calling me.
That sounds like something.
Calling me on the phone.
It's like sounds like a line out of Idiocracy. Why do you make the money go down?
Yeah, that's what I felt like. People in my local town think that I'm like Warren Buffett.
Right.
They do. Like, they think I'm Warren Buffett. I mean, I probably am one of the wealthiest people in my town.
Right.
But I'm not Warren Buffett. Like, I'm not that guy. I can assure you, I would not be living here if I was that guy.
Oh my gosh. Josh Randell disavows. Thank you again for the generous super chat, Josh. Coming in at $20. I'm going to have Nick read this super chat.
Okay. All right. Josh says he can deadlift a McLaren with 4 of me in it. No straps, no gloves, cold, first thing in the morning. I am tempted to put bars on my McLaren. First off, a McLaren only seats 2, so there can only be 2 of me in there. But I am tempted to. I can't remember the unsprung weight of it. I think it's like 2,700 pounds or 2,800 pounds. I might be wrong. So it's somewhere around there.
Wow.
But if I sit in it, it's like almost 3,000 pounds. So yeah, dude, no way. I'm calling BS.
I love the
try.
I love I love the big over the top talk though.
Yeah. That's a great way to like blow your back out without warming up, no straps, and just do it first thing when you wake up. You can try.
What about it kind of makes me think of those guys that pull cars with their teeth.
Yeah, the world's strongest man. They don't do it. Well, they don't do it with their teeth anymore, but they pull. You know, my girlfriend was asking me about that the other day. She was like, "How do those guys pull the plane? How does one person pull a plane?" It's actually surprisingly easy. I know that sounds insane. Steven, if I trained you for like a year,
yes,
you could pull a jumbo jet.
For real?
Yeah.
You could
not that. Yeah.
You could train me to pull a jumbo jet?
Yes.
Wow.
Once you get, here's the thing about those crazy polls. It's not like you're watching one man pull a plane and you're like, oh my god, that's insane. Well, a plane's on wheels. It's all physics. A plane's on wheels. As soon as you get the momentum, like as soon as you roll that wheel over one time, it's just basically rolling after that. So, yeah, I mean, is it hard to do and you got to be really, really strong? Yeah, but it doesn't take that. It's not as crazy as you might think.
Right. It's just the initial that's the hardest, right?
Yeah.
Getting the rolling going.
Yeah, once you get the inertia, then it's off to the races.
Nice. Cool. I think we're caught up in what's going on in the chat. Now let's get to the big story of the night, the big event, ladies and gentlemen. In one corner, we have Jeff Bezos. And the other corner, we've got Mr. Elon Musk. This story comes courtesy of the New York Post. Amazon goes for the jugular in FCC spat when Elon Musk over SpaceX internet plans. Amazon told U.S. regulators on Wednesday that Elon Musk does not believe government regulations apply to him over or SpaceX and over their Spar rival satellite-based internet plans. In a harshly worded filing with the FCC, Amazon accused Elon of ignoring a variety of government-imposed rules, including several Federal Aviation Administration requirements. It's whether it is launching satellites with its unlicensed antennas, launching rockets without approval, building an unapproved launch tower, or reopening a factory in violation of shelter-in-place order. The conduct of SpaceX and other Musk-led companies makes their view plan rules for other people and those who insist upon it, blah, 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 blah. And then Amazon's filing said SpaceX has just one name for any private company that dares point out it's flouting its flaws and regulations as anti-competitive. That's the claim. Now, Futurism.com, one of my favorite websites, they covered this a little bit differently, and I love this headline. Amazon throws tantrum, calls out SpaceX for breaking FCC rules. Try to hold a Musk-led company to flight rules, you're fundamentally broken. Amazon and SpaceX are trying to gain the upper hand in the race to establish a constellation of internet beaming satellites. And while SpaceX has a lot more to show in terms of actual progress, the Elon Musk-led company has already sent more than 1,700 satellites in orbit wherein they're beaming down usable internet, while Amazon's Kuiper Systems constellation still only exists on paper. So guys, just to be clear, what's going on here, we're seeing a pattern here, right? We're seeing a pattern where Elon Musk's ambitions and plans with regard to both space exploration and now satellite high-speed internet service via satellites. These are two businesses very closely, obviously, tied to Elon Musk. Now we have Jeff Bezos just kind of trying to play catch up on both accounts, and it's really ticking him off. It's really ticking him off that he's seems to be chronically 2 steps behind Elon, no matter his best efforts every step of the way when it comes to both space exploration and internet servicing via satellite. So it seems to me, pretty clear to me at this point that due to Bezos's bruised ego regarding this, mixed with Elon trolling him to kind of ratchet it up even further, you got a very pissed off Jeff Bezos, and he's going to do whatever he can to kind of attempt to thwart or slow down or to anchor the progress of Elon Musk. I think this is both, I find this to be super selfish as well, because Elon Musks don't come around every generation. We need that guy, in my opinion. We need to free him up to make as much progress as he possibly can. Well, he's still with us out here on this planet. Frankly, what do you think, Nick?
Go figure. 5'7" white knight would come into the mix. Ugh. Little dudes, I swear to God. Something about little guys. I just, you know, I don't know. It's like, it just pisses me off. You know, they both have unreasonable amounts of money. Like, you know, they don't have anything to really, you know, Elon's got a lot to worry about. He's got a lot on his plate. Jeff apparently has nothing to worry about, nothing but time on his hands to go meddling in other people's business matters. You know, if this was prison, that stuff would get you stabbed. Like, you know, I can't support. And you know what, I hate you know, I use Amazon Prime or whatever, and I often feel like, man, I should figure out some sort of alternative. So I hate supporting it. I like the fact that part of the money goes to Mackenzie Bezos, who's kind of foxy, actually. But yeah, it just boggles my mind. Like, dude, what, you know? He came out, like, this all basically stems around the fact that Jeff Bezos wants to do all the space stuff too, except he's doing it, like, objectively more poorly than Elon Musk. Elon Musk is doing a better job for less money than what Jeff Bezos is proposing to do. And Elon Musk has all the stuff built already, and Jeff doesn't. So it's just ego BS that stems from the fact that this man stands 5 feet 7 inches tall. And I will put a wager on the fact that Google search is probably an inch off, because everybody adjusts their height for some reason. He's probably 5'6". Jeff Bezos is probably a solid 5'6". How tall is Elon? 6'3"?
I don't know. Is Elon that tall?
Yeah, I think so. Sure, right? I've looked at it before. I can't remember. It says 5'11" here, but
it could be all right. He probably comes in just under 6 feet. You know,
I see.
Just to be clear, Nick, you better give a little disclaimer for that you're not attacking shorter guys.
Oh, I 100% am. No, I'm attacking shorter guys that are objectively white knights. That feel like they have to defend or, you know, sue or you know, if they don't get their way, it's like the end of the world.
So
flip it. Do you think if this was the other way around, do you think Elon would be doing any of this stuff? Or would he just go, okay, I didn't get this contract, I'm going to make my product better and work harder?
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know how much like a height complex it has to do with this. I mean,
I think Freud would agree with me.
Okay. Yeah, it could be. It could be. You know, it is interesting, you know, that I just don't understand. To me, it's very obviously like an envious kind of jealousy trip, because there are so many things that Jeff Bezos could be working towards project-wise, trying his hand at. He just seems to want to get involved with everything that Elon's doing, and then try to be, you know, competitive over it. And the thing is, what we saw with Blue Origin, for those of you who don't know, Blue Origin is Jeff Bezos's space exploration company. They are always embattled in trying to launch lawsuits against SpaceX for what they call unfair competition of what they're waging to be kind of a no bid contract sort of relationship between NASA and SpaceX. And I am sorry, but the technological advancements and states of where Blue Origin is at versus where SpaceX is at, there's no comparison. There's no comparison. Are you really suggesting that NASA needs to actually slow and scale back its technological advancements in space exploration to appease Jeff Bezos' ego? I mean, that's basically what he's asking for here. And to me, it's just absurd. At this rate, too, it's like, how much money and power... At this rate, it's like you have so much money and power when you're a guy like Jeff Bezos. I mean, he is the richest man in the world. That at that point, then it just becomes about ego and legacy for a guy like him, wherein Elon, second richest man in the world, it's more complicated. It's more multifaceted. He has dreams. He has aspirations, not only for himself, but visions for mankind in general, how to improve the planet overall. I mean, we always see some level of philanthropic talk from Jeff Bezos to a certain degree, but might I add, something that gets underreported in my opinion about Elon is Elon often gets his hands dirty and goes into the projects that he's investing in. You know, he's the one that's been in Flint, Michigan repeatedly to make sure that water gets sorted. You know, he shows up. He shows up, he shows out, and he donates the money. And he's done this repeatedly in charitable efforts that he's been involved in. And I love what he said, Nick, recently in an interview. He was asked about the common criticism of why are you spending all this money on space exploration and trying to become an interplanetary species? We have so many problems here on Earth. And I thought his answer was really good. It's really pragmatic in my opinion. He said, well, I'm all for solving all the problems we can here on planet Earth. But can't we just take maybe 5% out of the 95% that we are spending solving problems on planet Earth and use that towards being determined to become an interplanetary species? Because there's very few things more that generate more hope and optimism and magic, really, for lack of a better term, than being on the path to become an interplanetary species. That doesn't mean we give up on the planet that we're on. It just means we are adding to the extension of our civilizations to the point of existing societies, civilized societies on other planets. I think that's tremendously exciting, you know, just in a concept to think about. And it's something that is possible. It's just going to take an incredible amount of tenacity and focus. Your thoughts, Nick?
Yeah. I just think that it all comes down to, you know, what is legit and what is not. Like, Elon has better tech. Elon has better people working for him. Elon has a better plan. If Jeff Bezos had all of these things, I would be willing to listen to him. But because he doesn't have any of those things, and he's making a big hoopla about the fact that he didn't get what he wanted, it makes him seem like a little brat. It just makes him seem ridiculous. And acting that way, I love it, because acting like that just plays right into Elon's hand. It's exactly what he wants you to do, Jeff. And he is roasting you on Twitter on a daily basis, and you can't do anything about it because he's right and you're wrong. It gets to a point, I think, with money, and especially with money, where people get to a certain level where they think because they've made this much amount of money in their life that they will never be wrong about anything. They can never accept the fact that their ideas might not be the right ones, or they might make a mistake, God forbid. It's like, I think that's why Elon really appeals to a vast majority of us, is because he embodies so much of humanity, and what humanity is imperfect and imperfections, and part of that is failing, and part of failing is getting figuring out what you've made a mistake with and then doing it better. When you screw up something around Jeff Bezos, it's a whole ordeal, and the problem doesn't really get solved. So, it just boggles my mind. Boggles my mind. Did I lose you, Steven?
Sorry, I was muted. Haven't done that in a while. The more time goes on, the more we are really seeing just the depths and levels of Jeff Bezos' pettiness, right?
Dude, you stole I was just about to say pettiness, and you stole the word out of my mouth.
It's just next level pettiness, and it's so ridiculous that it's kind of frankly depressing that you can be the most powerful man, the richest man in the world, rather. You can be the wealthiest man in the world and still be subject to the pitfalls of a high schooler. I mean, we could really even get into the psychology of Jeff Bezos even more, but when you look at his ex-wife, I mean, let's be frank here, man to man, Nick, if I was the richest man in the world, I think I'd do considerably better than the woman who has him wrapped around his finger. And to me, this does not signal the sort of guy who just has, despite his success when it comes to interpersonal relationships and the way he communicates on that level, not on a business level. He's obviously wildly successful. I'm not discounting that. But it's interesting to see how some men, despite being so financially successful and successful in business savvy ways, can still be very ineffective and unsuccessful in their interpersonal relationships. After these super chats, I want your thoughts on that. Miles G coming in. Good to see you, Miles, with a $5 super chat. Miles G in the hizza says, Doge X. Yes, Doge X to the moon, to the moon. Who would win in a deadlift competition, Nick Ballz or Joe Biden? I think we know the answer. Thank you. Thank you, Miles. Sliding Edge coming in with a $5 super chat. Market manipulation confirmed. Nick Ballz power squats fluctuate the crypto market. Yes, that's what it is. We've totally figured it out. Thank you. Thank you, Sliding Edge. So, if you could, what are your thoughts on what I just said before those super chats, if you remember?
Yeah, I would agree. Like I was saying before, people get to a point in their life where they become wealthy enough that they feel like they're invincible or never wrong. And you know what? You know who's a prime example of this is why is his name? Looking it up right now. Prime example of this. Steve Jobs was a prime example of this. Steve Jobs was notoriously a hideous man to work for. Not a very nice person to his family. He was a arrogant, self-indulgent, I'll just say it, he was a dickhead. Wasn't a good guy. Like, well known. I'm not saying anything outlandish here. This is like, it's been reported. People know this. Mm-hmm. When he passed away, like the last week or two of his life, people were recording, what his final hours and final days were like. And he was basically like, oh shit, I made a mistake. I should have been nicer. He basically withered up into a little ball and realized that he for all of the accomplishments he made in his life, he didn't make an accomplishment inside of himself. And I don't know if people out there can grasp that. An accomplishment you make within yourself is exponentially greater than any monetary thing that you can accomplish. A goal or an achievement within you, it means more to yourself and the world than it could ever mean to have $1 million, because you're inside your own body, and like becoming a better person inside of that body, it should always be like the prime goal. And you can see that, you know, throughout Elon's life, he's had like struggles and hardships and ups and downs, and dude, it's so funny. My girlfriend and I talk about Elon all the time. She hates him so much, and I relate to him on so many levels. We both share like similar birth dates, and we're both like introspective in the sense that we, you know, think in the same kind of. Obviously, I'm not a Mensa level genius or anything. I'm not saying that, but I just my train of thought, my thought patterns are in line, and sometimes that can come off as cold or uncaring, but in fact it's a very introspective way to think about oneself, and having those tough, hard conversations with yourself instead of relying on yes man and people around you to basically just hold your hand and tell you that every idea you come up with is gold. Is, you know, these are vastly different ways of approaching the world around us.
Gotcha. Nick, I was gonna say Nick. Can you say your name? Josh Randell, just of the house, coming in with another $20 super chat. Thank you so much, Josh. Appreciate your continuous generous support of the show. $20 super chat says Nick Ballz' 23andMe came back with 20% rhino. No wonder he can clean and jerk 2 pallets of concrete mix.
Did I mention on the podcast that I found out? Did I talk about my 23andMe on here? I think I did.
You did briefly, yeah.
Yeah, I found out I was black. That still, every day I wake up, you know, with a little more soul.
Yeah.
I always kind of knew it, you know what I mean? I always kind of knew it, but
you always kind of felt it.
I always felt, yeah. I used to, when I lived in LA, I lived in the hood. For people who are from the Los Angeles area, if you're familiar with the area, I lived off of Pico and La Cienega. Not a good neighborhood. Not a good place to grow up as a kid. But I fit right in, actually. So I was one of 2 white students at my school. No lie, there was 2 of us. But yeah, I fit right in.
Gotcha. That's wild, man. Miles G was coming in earlier before us. And Steven, did you see that 1 year ago exactly? We saw the same dump before a major bull run. Nick, your thoughts on it? Did you notice that exact time this last year, something similarly?
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna mention this right before I head off here because I gotta get it rolling. But Miles and I, you know, we're both heavy TA guys. I rely a lot on Market Cipher. I know that Miles does too. Interestingly enough, before the dump happened, Market Cipher printed a fat red blood diamond. For those who don't know what Market Cipher is, it's a trading tool, plugin for TradingView. If you see a red blood diamond on like any of the lower time frames or even moderate time frames, I think it first appeared on like the 2 hour, you know that things are about to hit the fan. And a really fat red blood diamond came on, and that's right before everything crashed. And yeah, if you look back a year to this very time in September, you know, I warned people about this a few weeks ago. I said, remember guys, September's usually red. Same thing happened. And in the market setup, although the market setup was different a year ago, I believe the market setup this current cycle is far greater far greater in fear of the bulls this time around, which I think, people, the people out there who really do know TA very well, better than me, fully expect Bitcoin to go to 100K. And if that's the case, I mean, we're, the whole market, everything is going to take off. And I still believe, and I'll say this right before I leave, I do believe we were in the first ever crypto mega cycle, which should last sometime into next year, whether it be early next year or sometime mid next year. I think the first, we're in a little bit of a corrective phase for this, couple weeks here. Not a big deal, not a huge issue, but I think we're going to start to see things pick back up here towards the end of the month, going into October, November, December, and going into 2022 will be a big year for crypto.
I agree, and all the TA that we've done between each other, Nick, is all shaping up to pretty much what the writing on the wall and in the sand that we are seeing is all leading up to 2022 being the big breakaway year for crypto, to the likes of which we've never seen. Now, are we on the precipice of a huge bull run now? There's a fair probability of that, but even with that being said, I don't think that we're really going to see the full potential on even major gains on top of potential incoming bull run now till the beginning of 2022. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I would tend to agree. And I think we're years out from really like the big movements, but I think that the major swings like we've been seeing over the past few years, over the past 10 years, those huge corrective swings that we've seen, I think those are going to become more minimal, and I think the race to the top is going to become shortened. So yeah, the next 2 to 5 years is going to be very interesting for sure.
Right on. Well, Nick, I don't want to keep you. I don't want to keep you any longer. Thanks for staying a little bit late and burning about almost the midnight oil here. Thanks for coming through in the kind of last minute reshuffling here. Let's see, what are we on? We're on Wednesday. You, my friend, are going to have the next 2 nights off because I got Sadaf coming in Thursday and Friday, and then we'll have you back on Saturday, Sunday, or whatever your schedule looks like.
That works for me, buddy. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. Everybody, remember, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Nick. You guys, if you don't already follow Nick Ballz on Twitter, you want to follow Nick on Twitter, man. He's a great guy, puts out great content on the daily. You can find him at Nick, just N-I-C-K, last name B-A-L-L-Z on Twitter. So I'm going to finish up this show. We are riding solo with your man, the real deal, Steven Steele. You are watching Steven Steele Live. I am Steven Steele. Thank you for joining tonight. I hope you are enjoying the show. Let me go to the next story that I had queued up for you guys. This is something. So the SEC, Gary at the SEC is trying to flex some fear over Coinbase. This story comes courtesy of Newsweek. Coinbase faces SEC lawsuit over cryptocurrency lending program. The Securities and Exchange Commission has threatened to sue cryptocurrency exchange platform Coinbase. According to the company, the post on Coinbase's blog says the SEC has issued the company with a Wells notice, a message of intent to sue in court. The blog post, written by Coinbase's chief legal officer, Paul Grewal, states that the warning was issued over platform's proposed lend program, which would allow cryptocurrency owners to lend them in return for interest. Coinbase said it had been contacted by the SEC over Lend and the company that it believed did not fall under the securities law. In a tweet linking in a blog post, Coinbase said, after months of trying to engage with the SEC government, our planned Coinbase Lend product. We recently received notice and Plens intends to pursue legal action against us. We believe dialogue is at the heart of good regulation, even if the SEC may not. And then Coinbase released this tweet just earlier today saying, after months of trying to engage with the SEC on our planned Coinbase Lend product, we recently received notice of plans to pursue legal action against us. We believe dialogue is at the heart of good regulation, even if they don't believe that. I don't think that this is going to be a successful venture for them. I don't think that the SEC has got the legal ground to really stand on to successfully prosecute Coinbase. I think this is basically an extension of a FUD campaign issued by the SEC and Gary and many of our elected leaders. And yeah, RW says the SEC is powerless and useless. They're in panic mode. I would agree with that. And that's essentially what I was saying. I think that's a very astute statement. By the way, I had a super chat on Stream Elements that I posted in chat. Sorry I didn't get to it earlier. I'm going to read it out loud. Elon Musk ego and intent, that's the name they went by, tipped $3.33. We need billionaires to check out one another, even if I can deflate a terrible ego while moonwalking across their plans to the benefit of the world mission accomplishes. Thank you for that super chat, Elon Musk's ego and intent. And Katrina Marie, welcome Katrina Marie. Good to see you. I got one more story here. It's kind of a fun one, and this one comes courtesy of the Babylon Bee. For those of you who don't know, the Babylon Bee is a parody comedial news source. So I just thought this was a funny headline and a funny story I came across today. Motorcyclist who identifies as a bicyclist sets cycling world record. New York, an inspiring story from the world of professional cycling. A motorcyclist who identifies as a bicyclist has crushed all regular bicyclists, setting an unbelievable world record. In a local qualifying race for the World Record Cycling League, the motorcyclist crushed the previous 100-mile record of 3 hours and 13 minutes with this amazing new score of well under an hour. Professional motorcycler Judd Banner, the brave trans vehicle rider, was allowed to race after he told league organizers he's always felt like a bicyclist in a motorcyclist body. Look, my ride has handlebars, 2 wheels, and a seat, he told reporters as he accepted the trophy for his incredible time trial. Just because I got a little extra hardware, such as a 1170cc flat twin engine with 110 horsepower, doesn't mean that I have any kind of inherent advantage here. And that's about it for the show, folks. I got to take about a half-hour break, and then I will be back up. Members only stream will be back up in about a half hour. Following this stream, I'm going to deep dive more into Dogex, the strategies going forward in Dogex, how it relates to you, whether you're a Dogex investor currently, you already have NFTs from the line, or you're on the fence or just curious about it. And I will be getting into a couple other just kind of funny things as well. Members only stream about 30 minutes after the outro ends from here. Just got to rest my voice a little bit, hydrate, just to refresh myself a bit, and then we'll be back with the members only stream. If you want to be a part of the members only streams, it's easy and simple to become a member. You just hit join. You can become a member for as low as $4 a month. You guys, that is so cheap for the amount of content that I put out. That's starting at just $4 a month. I do members only streams all the time, and you'll also get additional members only video content, and then all those cool emojis that you see used on the stream as well. So make sure your notifications are on members, and if your notifications are a little dicey, you can always check my Twitter or in the Discord. I will be posting the link to the members only stream in both my Twitter page and the Steven Steele Discord. I will put a link to the Discord in the chat. If you're not already a part of the Discord, join the Discord. It's free. It's open 24/7 for you guys. Anyway, Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you, Super Chatters, and everyone else for watching. Appreciate each and every one of you. Let's keep the Doge momentum going strong. Until next time, this is Steven Steele signing out.
Just the bees and birds, the summer hay.